Hi, and welcome to Kids in Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Mooskaan Baxi. Today we'll be learning about a personality insights tool called DISC. It's helpful for communication with specifically parents and children, but it can use for anyone else. So today I'll be with an expert to learn more about it, Minesh Baxi, my dad. He's an expert. He's been working with this for over 20 years. He teaches about it all over the country. So, hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Muskan. I'm really looking forward to sharing insights on DISC. And most people will have a question about what is DISC? Why should we even bother learning about it?
Mm-hmm.
But you agree, Muskan, that a lot of people have challenges in communicating with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest challenge I think I find is most people think they are different from other people. And when they are different from other people, what ends up happening is there is a barrier in communicating. And that barrier can be at least minimized by using tools, and DISC is one of those tools where you have an opportunity to learn about how to communicate with somebody who may not be like you. And we'll talk more about how DISC was started and so on and so forth. But to keep it simple, people are different, and we can learn to communicate using their styles instead of just the way we always communicate. So that's really the key concept about DISC.
Mm-hmm. So what is DISC specifically?
Very good point. So when people say DISC, there are 4 letters, D, I, S, and C. And it's what is typically called a personality profile, though I think that's a loose term that people should be using. D stands for dominance, I stands for influencing, S stands for steadiness, C stands for compliance. What does all of this mean anyway? All it means is that there are different types of people around you. Now, the words I will use may be a little bit different from DISC, but they still have the same intention behind it. So do you know there are some people who are extremely assertive and aggressive? Well, if you're thinking of those people are like a D personality. Then have you seen people who are warm, bubbly, friendly? They're very excited all the time. They talk a lot. That's influencing. Or we can also say they are animated type personality. Then there are steadiness. Now, obviously, from that, you can guess what that would mean. The person is usually not what I would call jumping up and down. They're not results or task oriented. They are more people oriented. They are relaxed. They don't want too many changes. They are what we would call amiable people. They like people to get along, and they don't want to offend other people. And then C is compliance. These are people who follow rules, and that's why some of those people can be called analytical. So you can also use different words instead of DISC is assertive people, animated people, amiable people, and analytical people. So Muskan, you know what your style is. Maybe the other people don't have that style. Just knowing this, how has this helped you in communication?
I think it's definitely helpful. I'm more of a assertive or dominant type of person, and some of my friends might not be. So it's helpful to know when I'm talking to them. Maybe I want to talk a little bit harsher, a little bit more blunt, and maybe my friends don't like that. So being aware that my personality is a little bit different from others, so I can soften it a little, I can slow down. Sometimes I can be more animated, sometimes a little bit more mellow. It definitely helps. It's not changing your personality, it's just sometimes changing the pattern of how you talk to your friends or anyone really, your parents, clients, etc. Just definitely knowing it's more of a way so they can hear better, they'd understand it better, they feel more comfortable, they'd want to listen to you longer. So definitely helpful in all aspects for that.
Very good. Now, do you remember a friend whose profile style wasn't the same as yours, and then you found a way to interact, or how this knowledge helped you?
Yeah, of course. I think one of the first topics that come to my head is I knew a friend. She's a very big I. She likes talking, but in a little more fun style, a little more animated. And we were all talking together, and I started to notice that she was a little bit more animated in her conversation. So I tend to mirror, mimic, whatever the word is, kind of joined along, was as animated as her, and from that she really felt a lot more connection to me. And she told me months later, she told me that first initial conversation where I just happened to relate to her a little bit more, I was very happy with her, same kind of tone, that's the moment she felt very connected to me, and ever since we've been really close friends.
Wow, isn't that very powerful?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea behind it is to build rapport with people.
Mm-hmm.
And in building rapport, the secret is always going to be very simple enough for us to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Do we act, sound like the other person?
Sure.
Now, I'm not talking about mimicking in a way that would be kind of not downgrading
not a
or denigrating.
no,
Yes,
not
yes,
like a
that's not
copycat.
what. No, not that. But if we can match their
Yeah.
style. So what are things you can match? You can match their tonality.
Mm-hmm.
You can match the speed with which they talk.
Mm-hmm.
And those seem very simple things. And frankly enough, most people even don't notice their own style, let alone notice somebody else's style. So what I would encourage everybody who is watching today is to pay attention to other person's style. Does the person speak fast or slow? What is their tonality? Are they loud? Are they soft? And if they just paid attention to that, and then they learned how to, in good way, positive way, mirror it, I can tell you most people will be finding themselves to be building rapport much more effectively, quickly with people they may not know. But just by practicing it consistently enough and doing it, I think they'll see a lot of results from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to DISC, DISC was found by a theory basically by William Moulton Marsh, and there's a movie made on him as well. And one of the things people may not know, that he also created the character Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like the Wonder Woman character, he's the one who created that, and he also created DISC. And the idea behind DISC is to, in a bad way, maybe that's not the best way to put it, but kind of pigeonhole and identify characteristics to group people together. And when you group people together, you have a little bit way of saying, okay, I can see what is similar or different. Just like you group colors. So blue, there may be so many shades of blue, but blue, right? Green or red or yellow, or you have so many of shades in them, but you can actually create a category of that, and that will make it easier for you to identify the blue or the green or the red or the yellow. The same thing is D, I, S, and C. So if you pay attention, you can find out very quickly. So let me just give a quick recap on how to identify a D, an I, an S, or a C. So a D is, as we said, aggressive, very direct in communication, doesn't come across as if they have compassion, doesn't come across as if they have feelings for other people. Now, it doesn't mean they don't have feelings. It's just that they don't come across. There is a difference between having feelings and not coming across with feelings, right? I, influencing, are fun and friendly. They're the life of the party. Unfortunately, they can be very scattered. They can be distracted very easily. Squirrel, poof, they're gone, right? And that's what happens to a lot of people. Now, you can match those people relatively easily because they're obviously a little bit louder, faster, and they want to find somebody to talk to. S type of people are mellow. They're usually softer in their way of communication. They don't want to offend people. They don't want too much change too fast. And they don't give too much expression either. C, compliance, are monotonous, very like thorough researcher kind of people. They want to follow rules and procedures, and they usually come across aloof. So D and a C type of person are results and task oriented people, whereas I and S are more people, and they want to be around people. So again, it's the reason to learn this is very simple, is other people may not be like you. And if they're not like you, you still need to build rapport, because without building rapport, they won't listen to you, and you won't be able to carry on a conversation or get things done. And when people understand there is a difference, you pay a little bit more attention and try to communicate the style that they already use and use it yourself, your chances of having that rapport, having less friction, is much, much higher in my opinion. What else would you like to learn or share about today, Mooskaan, regarding DISC?
How do you think, I'd say, why is DISC valuable for you?
For me personally, as a business person, I deal with different types of people. I deal with obviously young, old, and other people as well in my businesses. And I deal with a lot of different types of people speaking fast, people speaking slow. Now, quite a few people who are high top leaders in businesses not everybody, but a lot of people that I interact with are very high assertive people. And most of them also like to work with people. So they're a combination of a D and an I. Okay. And that what does is I have to learn, because I'm not a very high D compared to them, I have to learn to be very direct with them. So if they want to have an 18-second conversation, I should be okay with it. Now, I'm more of an I, somebody who's a fun person. And I like to talk to people. And I feel offended if I only talk for 18 seconds because I didn't get enough time to build a relationship. But there are some people for whom 18 seconds is enough. They communicated what they needed to. They're done and gone. Now, in my case, and again, if you're watching, you have children, and you have changed careers in your life. I was a computer programmer for 12 years. I had not taken my DISC assessment until much later in life. I wish every child, after 14 years is preferable in my opinion, should take the assessment and learn about D, I, S, and C, because what will happen is they will learn what's a good profession for that person. So if you are somebody like me who likes people but had to sit 8 hours a day talking to a computer, guess what? It was a bad job for me. 12 years went by and I was not very happy. On the other hand, what I do today, I'm a speaker, author, business coach. I love talking to people. I get that opportunity and I'm excited about it. It's something I love to do. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. I'm excited about it. On the other hand, when I'm doing something which is not consistent with my profile, guess what happens? I'm not going to be excited. My energy is going to be low. I'm going to be stressed, and I'm not going to be a productive employee, which is why the reason I wrote the book called Stop Hiring Losers. Now, the other part that I want to quickly mention to wrap up for people to understand is that the sooner you learn this information, the sooner you teach your children about it, the sooner you use it in your life, you will find it to be extremely valuable in your career, in your family, in your personal life. And I think it helps us in our life. Like for me and you, we have a little bit similar style, but my wife, your mom, does not have the same style.
Yeah.
Also, your brother, my son, does not have the same style either. And we need to learn to communicate with them the way they like to be communicated to, instead of just communicating the way we always do. And I think that's very valuable for everybody to learn about. And if you're looking for more information on DISC, my program is stophiringlosers.com. You can get more information there. There's a lot of information available on DISC. Unfortunately, some reports are not as accurate as the others. So make sure the ones you are using have been proven, validated, have been around for a long time. So when you take an assessment, which is an online assessment for a few minutes, and you get the report, it really reflects what your profile is. And I'll tell you, it has been very helpful for the last 20 years in my business. I have clients all over the country, and they use it in hiring, team development, and even their personal lives as well.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming in, talking about DISC, teaching us some very valuable lessons. And if you subscribe for more, thanks.